Hey Cakeologist, it's me Janelle Reimer and I am back with another video. We're going to be doing chocolate covered Rice Krispie treats. Now, before I get started in all the details, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and find me on Facebook and on Instagram at Holy Sweets NYC. Now, let's get started.
Make that cake, make that cake, make that cake, make that cake.
For me to create these Rice Krispie treats, I'm going to be using almond bark. And you can purchase almond bark at your local Walmart or Target, or you can head over to my Amazon storefront, and I'll leave the link below in the description box. Almond bark is actually vanilla flavored candy coating, so it's not exactly chocolate that you're using. What you're using is something that's made from vegetable fats and not cocoa butter. So if you have any clients that are allergic to chocolate, this would be an alternative for them to be able to eat. So what you want to do with your silicone cavities is fill them up about 3/4 of the way, making sure that we're not filling it to the top because we still do have to put in our Rice Krispie treats. So I'm putting in the rest of this almond bark in the last cavity, and then we're going to get to putting in the Rice Krispies. So I just completed filling up my silicone soap cavities, which are so easy to use for these treats. And I actually smushed my Rice Krispies just a wee bit so that they can fit perfectly in the cavities. Usually Rice Krispies come just a little bit thicker, so smushing them down helps me have a really smooth and clean finish. So I'm going to smush these all down, and then we're going to head over to the next step, which is the fun part, getting all the air bubbles out and making sure that we have a really clean finish. Let's go ahead and fill up these Rice Krispie treats with the remaining, oh, there goes my charger, the remaining almond bark, so that we can make sure that we have a really clean finish. And because we didn't fill it up to the top, we have enough to put just a little bit more of the almond bark, just enough to close it up and also to make sure that we have a really clean finish. I'm taking my blue acrylic cake pop stick, and what I'm doing is pushing those Rice Krispies down just enough so it's not peeking through where it's visible, but enough so it's not peeking out from the top. And also, I'm working to clear out any of the air bubbles that may have developed as we were filling in the almond bark in the cavities. It's really important to make sure we have a smooth finish. I can't stress it enough. You always want to make sure that your work looks as best as it possibly can. Now that we're done, let's take this into the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes until you're sure that everything is nice and solid. Let's decorate. So I have some of the characters from Sesame Street, of course, Big Bird, which is one of my favorites, and of course I can't leave out Cookie Monster. So let's get them cut out so we can place them right on top. Let's check on these Rice Krispies. They are all set and ready to be taken out. Take them out as soon as they come out the freezer, and ooh, look at those sharp edges. Look how clean and neat they look. Perfect to go on a treat table. So let's take out the remaining Rice Krispie treats. Let's go ahead and put our edible images on top of our Rice Krispie treats. And what I'm doing is I'm just sizing it up, making sure that everything is nice and smooth. And I do want to keep on the left side where Big Bird's name is and ensure that the top part is there as well, because that's where the birthday boy's name is. So we're going to just clip off anything that may be excess, and we're going to proceed with that for the entire half dozen of the Rice Krispies. I'm using my torch to heat up my flour nail, and you can purchase these items on my Amazon storefront. And what this is going to allow me to do is pierce the top of every Rice Krispie so that we can put a hole inside of it so that we can stick in all of our cake pop sticks. Be very careful as you pierce the top of this, making sure that you're not burning or hurting yourself while you're doing this. We're going to stand all of the Rice Krispie treats up together so that we can make sure we have a very even and also a very precise area where the hole is going to be placed. So everything just looks very clean and uniform. take your cake pop stick and place it right in the hole. You don't need any additional almond bark to adhere any of this. Just stick it inside. The Rice Krispies itself will go ahead and hold the cake pop stick and it will not come out. Now, I do suggest lining them up to make sure that everything is leveled. This helps keep a very uniform look. Taking one of my cake brushes, I'm just dipping it in the almond bark, and I'll paint the melted almond bark on top of the Rice Krispies or even the edible image. And to ensure that everything is nice and even and aligned, I'm going to be grabbing my ruler and using that to ensure that everything is just perfectly lined up. And then after, I'll be bending the side of that edible paper to ensure the side is also adhered to the Rice Krispie.